Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And due to the patch that Codemasters have released, there is no in-game intro to the track, so I've had to do my own. And this is the pole lap for the Pacific Championship on the World Racing Leagues. Season 2, of course. We're in round 3 already. And this is just a montage of that pole lap, due to the fact that I don't really want my video to go for too much more than 10 minutes. And the light cloud conditions caused everyone to lose about 7/10 in comparison to their practice times. I think I still managed to dip into the 34s, luckily for myself. But the session was quite horribly laggy, and there's a lot of disconnections. We'll see there's a pole lap by 9/10 of a second, and Tyler saying we need to change host, which he probably did. So that's the end of qualifying, and there is the order. Tyler and Murph disconnected. Murph doesn't end up getting back into the race after all. Here we are celebrating our second pole of the season, second in a row in fact. Hoping to take that same form into the race. This is the first restart. We decided to do a formation lap, the aim with me getting to the front and everyone else reordering themselves in the same grid positions as in qualifying. However, this went horribly wrong because some people thought that because of my ghost car being out front that in fact that was the real me, and they went and chased after it and I couldn't actually get to the front. Meanwhile, people in front of me here could see me, or at least Kian could, I think, and anyway I decided to go past as I'm supposed to do, and then I am spun by the McLaren of Johnny, I'm not blaming him at all because he probably couldn't see me either, but it's just a shambles that Codemasters have created on this particular game. And here we are going back past a couple of people, the Lotuses, and yes, it's not a particularly good and orderly formation lap, as you can see. I'm just up to 4th now, and the other 3 cars are way in front. And in fact, Johnny barges his way down the inside again, probably not seeing me. And we lose connection to Murph again. And here's the attempted restart. I'm in 4th. Johnny pits. Sorry I was in 5th, but now I'm in 4th. And we went for a couple of laps because we weren't sure what was going to happen, and I charged down the inside of Keen to see what would happen. And my god, I'm in first gear at about 200 kilometers an hour. I don't even know what to say about that. Anyway, here we are passing Keen eventually, and then screwing ourselves by crashing into Zenith. But you can see that none of them were affected by that, so they obviously can't see me. And this is the undercut that I thought would work against Zenith. And on that outlap I caught Danny, who was instructed to restart the lobby, so a car stopped in the middle of the track. I ran to the back of it, got a penalty, obviously, which you'll see there. At this point I have already undercut Zenith actually, sorry. We've been given a time penalty. It'll be added to your time at the end of the session. And Afro's there testifying that he was behind me on the formation lap, which is incorrect, but probably what he saw on his screen. And this is me quitting the session, just because it's horrific and everyone else is going to restart the session anyway. And here we are, this is the actual start. Well, start of the formation lap. And Zenith sees me there spinning out on the main straight before I get past him, but on my screen I'm actually in first, and I've been there for quite a while. Anyway, that goes fairly cleanly in the end, and I managed to get a restart here. I went a bit earlier than I was instructed to, but that was because I didn't want people not being able to see me crash into me, and I don't think I had too big a lead at that point. As you can see, that's just 0.5. Meanwhile, Zenith, as you can see in the top right hand corner, is experiencing my lag car again, and he in fact passes me a couple of times, unfortunately for him. Being one of the international drivers, I think he may experience some more lag than others, but nevertheless, That is a pretty horrific thing to be seeing. And losing time to me, not exactly fair, but
Great work. That's a new fastest lap for the race.
as you can see, I did have some pace, so it's not like I was stealing the win from him. Setting fastest laps and consecutive laps there, extending the gap to about 2.5 seconds. And I decided to not pit on lap 4 because I thought I might come out in traffic. I didn't want to risk that. Meanwhile, my tyres actually were pretty screwed after that 5th lap on them, and Zenith managed to undercut me to the extent where he got quite close to my gearbox after this lap. I think he gained about 2 seconds. He's that dot that's approaching turn 1 now, taking it now.
We fitted you with a new set of prime tyres. You have 2 stops remaining. 2 stops.
Yes, 3-stop was my recommended strategy, and that's exactly what I tried to do. Danny started on the prime, and they were starting to wear out by that point, and she unfortunately went for a bit of
We think the car ahead is keeping fuel back for the end of the race.
an excursion. There's Cena, one of the 2 birthday boys.
The guy behind has had a set of prime tyres fitted to the car, going for a longer stint by the looks of it.
Fit some prime tyres, as the engineer just told me. Unfortunately for Edward, he was the other birthday boy. He was one of the people that didn't take part in the second restart due to time constraints.
Tyres confirmed for next pit stop.
It's already lap 13 now, not much happened in that stint, and basically I just builded the gap to about 10 or 11 seconds. It was the main gap increasing stint.
You're on the prime tyres, only 1 stop to...
And now we're behind Mr. Bungie, who's yet to make his second pit stop. DRS is going to allow us to make a pretty easy pass here. He can see us at this point, which is a bonus. And as you can see,
The car behind is on standard reds. Car behind is running standard reds.
Cena does manage to take the lead for, I think it's at least 1 lap.
We believe the car ahead has a lot of fuel in reserve.
And my engineer does keep interrupting me like a bloody cow. But anyway, we continue. Cena enters the pits and we emerge in first place again on the end of lap 13. Mr. Bungie, co-championship leader with me coming into this race, not having a particularly good race as he had to pit there and he went back
Prime for your next
a
stop.
couple of positions and wasn't able to recover. I don't think.
Complete go net exit. Watch out as you rejoin the track.
Zenith there is 10 seconds behind. He manages to do the exact same strategy as me, I think, apart from that first pit stop.
You have no more scheduled pit stops, so look after your tyres.
And Zenith, for the 3rd race in a row, is on for a 2nd position. This is again a montage of my fastest lap. It wasn't the fastest lap of the race, but nevertheless, I decided to put it in since not much else happened in this stint. And my feedback to the engineers about the patch is pretty negative, to be honest, because the problem I'm experiencing is since the patch, the feedback on the controller has been increased, which is a good thing for the wheel users because that's exactly what they wanted. But with the controller, any form of understeer or oversteer or locking up, it all contributes to a massive amount of vibration, which by the end of 50% race is just horrific on the hands. So I've been forced to turn off the feedback and now I can't feel the more subtle things like running over curbs or slight contact with other cars. But nevertheless, it didn't affect me too much. And there we have my girlfriend taking the fastest lap and removing any possibility I had of taking the hat trick of pole, the win and the fastest lap in this Chinese Grand Prix. And here we are on the final lap, about to celebrate our 2nd win of the season and take the championship lead.
Absolutely brilliant. Well done, well done.
Most people did a 3-stop apart from Bufka, who I think experienced some troubles with tyre wear. There's the final standings, 11-second lead at the end over Zenith. And there we are, in Parc Fermé with our second win of the season. Pretty happy with that. And I look forward to the Bahrain Grand Prix in 1 week's time. See you guys, it's been Jacko.